So, Ciaran here from Boxing Bants. I'm here with none other than Victor Rabei. Rabei. I've seen loads of different interviews.
I'm slowly starting to kind of get all you journalists kind of on the good side of it.
The only reason I call you Rabei is because Deck keeps saying to me Rabei.
Deck's an asshole.
He told me to tell you that there's still only one pretty boy.
He only put up a photo today saying a face only your mother would love, so this is a face everyone loves.
I know. Well,
oh God.
Yeah, no. So, basically, you had a fight there, not too recently, just against Jake on TV Carter. Now, just break it down for me now. Originally, was that not for an Irish title?
Yes.
And then it turned out to be just for your belt that you were holding at the time. Can you explain what happened there?
Basically, what happened was when the first press conference went ahead, I think it was in January. The thing was, the fight was for an Irish title. They came up to me first day and was like, "Listen, do you want to fight for an Irish?" I was like, "Of course." And the BUI didn't sanction the fight due to Jake's inactivity in the ring, and they said that they wanted him to get like 4 or 6 rounds before the fight, and they'd sanction it. If not, they'll sanction the fight for Celtic belt. Well, for me to defend it. So at that time, I was just saying, being like, well, it's like there's no really kind of pros to that side for me. Like I don't really,
high risk, low reward.
Yeah, like I don't get anything from it. But I just fight another domestic lad. But there's more to lose than more to win. And I was trying to force it on their end to kind of get that fight and fight for the Irish. But obviously, the way I see it is his team didn't want to invest. He could have got a fight in fucking Hungary or somewhere for a grand and a half. But they decided against it. So it got to that stage where I still wanted to fight him. And 8 rounds look good on TV, and again, obviously against the domestic name is good. So I took it. I took the little risk, but came on top.
I thought it was very odd because I just remembered that the press conference in January, you were actually holding the belt. And then I was just wondering what happened in terms of that. But anyway, the fight itself. What is your reflection now afterwards? You know, obviously a lot of people have said different things, their own opinions of it.
Yeah.
But what's your thought process now after the fight?
To be honest, I thought that I won the fight very easy. I was stuck in second gear, and like even at the end of the fight, where usually I'd be kind of a little bit out of breath, I was fine. And it was something new to me that I was just stuck. I only started opening up in 7 and 8, and like every time I was coming back to my corner, Steve, my coach, was telling me, "Was like, you're in control. This is working. That's not working. Try that. Try this." But it was never kind of, "Listen, Vic, you're down a few rounds. You need to really up the pace." Listening back, I watched the fight only like a couple of days ago on TV, and listening to the kind of Andy Lee, Gary Spike O'Sullivan saying that I had to knock him out in the last round is just a bit ludicrous. If you watch the fight back on TV and take the sound off, Jake's not landing. Like the big shots that they're saying that great shots, they were not landing. Or if they were, they're landing on my glove. He didn't land too many clean shots. He was landing. In fact, the only clean shots he was landing was at the back of my head. Every time we were in close, he would throw rabbit punches, but again, they weren't that sore, so I didn't give out or anything to the ref. And he caught me with a few low blows as well. It was just a negative fight. I was hoping for a bit more, to be honest. Every shot that Jake threw, he was falling in with the shots. Like for example, the amount of times that I lifted him, the only reason that I lifted him was because every time he'd throw a jab or jump in with right hand, I'd literally slip and just go down to try open something up, and the next thing he was on top of my shoulder. So it's not as if I went under him, he came on top of me. And for anyone out there that was saying that it was kind of my bad, look back and you'll see. Another thing, I think it was in the first round when I hit him, well, the ref did not stop. It got to that stage where Jake just literally turned around and turned back at me, and I kept going. And then he was just like, what? And then obviously Spike O'Sullivan said, it's like, oh, he should get a point deducted. He should know better than anyone. Like, the ref did not say stop, did not break us apart at all. Jake just decided to fucking turn around, which is, in boxing, is protect yourself at all times. And he did that a few times. But I've learned from it, and I hope to get a rematch with him. Again, I think I won the fight very easily.
Is it to get the rematch more so to put things to bed, or to get the Irish title?
Both, a bit of both. I think we can get a rematch. Initially, like before I agreed to the Celtic title, they're saying it's like just a verbal contract that if you win or if you lose, win or lose, there'll be a rematch for the Irish. But for me personally, it's just I didn't showcase my ability at all. The fight was just very negative. I look back on it, I studied it, and I think I know I'll stop him.
When you're talking about Andy Lee and Gary Spike O'Sullivan, it was quite strange afterwards. I know Jake posted Andy Lee saying that he thought that Jake Hanney won. But if you keep watching it, then once it gets further on and they break down the fight, then Andy Lee kind of backsteps and then he actually said, actually, I don't know. I just found it very strange, because first, as soon as the bell went and you were shaking hands, he said, "Yeah, Jake's the champion." But then once the commentator was asking him questions, then he kind of went, "So who are you calling?" And he went, "Actually, I don't know." I think a lot of people missed that. Yeah, which I thought was very strange how he kind of backtracked on what he said.
Yeah, listen. The thing is, the judges are there under the ring looking up at the fight at all times. The commentators might look at each other at all time. They might look at this. They might get distracted with some stuff. I'm not saying that they're engaged with the fight. 8-3-minute rounds. So, listen. One thing that I've learned, even watching back myself, is just that I needed to be a lot busier. Well, not I needed, just personally, just to kind of I could have been a lot busier. I know that for a fact. But obviously, from looking from their point of view, they also thought that I could have been a little bit busier. But then the exchanges that were were happening in the ring, I think I was getting the better out of all of them. So obviously, because I was in there, the shots that he was throwing, everything was in guard. He was negative. I think he caught me one with an uppercut, and that was it. Literally, it was just so negative. So, dirty boxing, not dirty dancing.
So obviously you're fighting in Belfast, in Europa Hotel, on the undercard of James Tennyson and above, a lot of other Irish fighters. Obviously you were saying to me it might be some sort of a few rounds fight, nothing too serious. But after that, is Jake the one that you would like to have before the end of the year? Yeah.
Well, not even before the end of the year. There's Assassin have a few slots on a card in York Hall on June 22nd, and that's I think 10.5 weeks away, which is perfect time. 10.5 weeks is more than enough for a camp. Jake's fighting on the 27th, I think it is, in May.
24th, yeah.
24th in Devonish. I'm fighting the week before in Europa Hotel. It's for both of us. I'm sure that it's just kind of keep busy fights. I'm looking for someone tough, but obviously I don't want to say calculated risk, but it's a tough journeyman is what I'm looking for. And I think he's doing the same. I think he just wants to bounce back up from the loss. But then after that, it's another 5 weeks until June 22nd. So if you don't take a gap in between the two fights, this is a perfect, one of the best camps that you can have. 10 weeks of intense training where you watch your diet, where you get fit, your strength, everything's perfect. And then we fight for the Irish in June 22nd. He's been asking for the rematch ever since the fight happened. And I want it personally just for myself, not for any other reason. I want to fight him. He said that he wants to fight me sooner rather than later. We had an agreement on Facebook where I was tagged in a post saying from his mates who were saying the rematch has to happen. So I was I'm not backing away from any fight. I'm willing to do it again. And then Jake says all right, well, we do it. I was yeah, of course. And then now I got onto my management team and they offered Jake's team the fight in June 22nd, and they're saying oh, we don't know if we want it yet, maybe kind of later on in the year, towards the end of the year. And to me, I'm baffled. It's you can't call the shots. We're giving you 10 weeks. There's no reason you want the rematch and take it, but what are you backing away from? So I don't know what's happening. We're still in kind of talks at the moment, but June 22nd I think is more than enough time to
prepare. So also outside that, Martin Quinn won his last fight after his decision loss to Karl Kelly, one of your opponents. He said that he'd love to fight you next. Is there any chance of you to getting on over the next year or so? Again,
I'm one of the few in Ireland that doesn't back away from a fight. I think the Martin Quinn fight is appealing to me as well. He beat one of my teammates in the gym, and I'd love to get a bit of a revenge. And Martin and I have been kind of back and forth. Like, we're meant to be fighting for a good while now, and then obviously the Karl Kelly loss kind of set him back a little bit, but now he bounced back up. So again, I don't see why not, to be honest. June 22nd, if Jake Hanney doesn't want that fight, yeah, I'm willing to fight him.
Yeah. Would it be fair to say that Karl was probably, you've had 3 fights in under a year. There's going to be your 4th fight in under a year now, coming this May. Would you say in that last year, would you say Karl was probably your toughest fight so far?
Yeah. I'll give it to Karl. He maybe one of the lightest lads. He wasn't really his original weight.
he can move it between quite a few weights, all right. Yeah,
but he was the one that gave me kind of not the most trouble, but it was a good 8 rounds, a competitive 8 rounds. Yeah. And I remember coming out of that fight being kind of a bit more satisfied. I was like, all right, fair enough, we went through a war and I kind of delivered. But then again, that ring was tiny, so that was always going to be the case. Whereas the National Stadium, the ring's a lot bigger. Actually, another point to put out there. Jake was saying that I was going to be on the back foot for you saying, like, I hope you don't go running. And I'm fairly sure I was the one pushing him back for 7 of them 8 rounds. So fucking come on.
So did you get to see Karl's fight with Fergus McCrory, and what did you think of it?
To be honest, I didn't get to see it. I don't think I tried googling it, but I don't think anything came up.
No, I don't think it was on TV.
Yeah,
no.
So I just heard it was kind of competitive for a little bit, and then Fergus McCrory just upped the pace, and he got a stoppage, but it wasn't a knockout. It was just kind of landing clean shots. Listen, it happens. Boxing is a cruel sport. You can win 7-8 rounds convincingly, and then you just die out, and then the last 2 rounds you can get picked off.
So I have to say, watching your career, you've been managed very well in terms of the fights that you're getting, in terms of you're not rushing into that, and you're taking things very slowly, one fight at a time. But have you looked at, what would be your goal to be at the end of it all? Like, what's the level you can see yourself getting to, and what would be, your dream fight in Ireland or abroad?
Well, not that I haven't thought that far. Obviously, like, I think anyone that turns professional boxing, and especially if they spend all their time in the gym, is they want to be in contention for a world title at some stage. So that's my goal. I'll be very happy if I get there and mix with the lads. But at the moment is Irish title, and then after that probably get an interim belt of some sort, and then get a European title, and then slowly build up to that pace. I'm only 7 fights in, and I think I've had 7 tough fights. It wasn't like there's other lads out there that are fighting and they throw a jab and the other lad will be on their ass. I've had tough 7 competitive fights, which for me is the only kind of stepping forwards. Like, you take it a step at a time. I'm 7 fights in. I'm hopefully getting another tough lad, a learning fight for me on May 18th, and then June 22nd will be either, if Jake Hanney wants to fight for an Irish title, perfect. If not, I'll still be going for some sort of belt, maybe a belt in the UK against a good guy. We're looking at a few names at the moment, so it's going to be a big fight in June, and then maybe 2 weeks off, and then straight back into the gym to continue a busy year.
In terms of your career, there's a lot of big fights domestically for you. The Jake one in particular, it's already huge. You know what I mean? In terms of the rematch, even in Dublin or something like that, it'd be a great headliner. But if someone was to come in now, even on a matchroom card, and you were brought in as the away fighter, would you bite someone's hand off for that? A bit like, I suppose, Jay Byrne going over to fight Josh Kelly or something like that.
Depends. Again, it depends who. If I sit down with my coach and I see that the guy's beatable and he has weaknesses here and there, and I think that I'm game, like I could beat him at that time, yes. I wouldn't go away just for a check. But again, if it makes sense and I see myself winning that fight, 100%.
Very good, very good. Last thing I'd say, that you were sparring lately with Artem Lobovs. And did you you obviously catch this fight a couple of weeks ago.
Did.
What do you think of it?
Mad shit. It's fucking hell. It's tough. It just looks, again, like a boxing match is, you wear gloves. It's still it's more kind of concussion where bare knuckle, you just cut each other up, and I think that's what happened. It was a war, 5 2-minute rounds, but fucking hell, some fight.
Yeah. Do you think the fight would be totally different once established boxing pros were to transfer over? The fights would be very, very different, do you think?
I think it's designed on purpose for people like brawlers and like more kind of street fighters in ways, because it's 5 2-minute rounds. If you put a boxer with gloves on to do 5 2-minute rounds, it's ridiculous. The pace would be insane. But I don't think it's a tough. Well, I don't want to say it's a tough one, but I don't think professional boxers would turn as much into to the bare knuckle UFC. It's a mad sport. I was looking, like, you'd see the faces of the two lads, Jason and Artem, after the fight, and I personally was like, fuck that. Let's like two more fights, and I think leave it at that. Don't do more. It's like, you don't want to. Every time those lads step into the ring, they leave a fucking chunk of their health in there. Yeah, which it's mad. But personally, it's if I got 100 grand for the fight, for the fight, I'll fucking jump in tomorrow. But get 2-3 of them, and I think that'll be it. Well,
I personally spoke to Paulie Manager, and he said that David Feldman sat down with him and immediately went to numbers with him, and he said that he had no intention of fighting again until David sat him down and told him the numbers he was going to offer him. Apparently he's wanting to invest and rebuild a platform on it. Apparently Artem went to so many combat organisations, K1, Bellator, and bare knuckle were miles ahead in terms of what they offered him. Like, so do you think that there could be a platform in future for boxers maybe to go over, or if the money's there?
Money is appealing to everyone, and I think that it could get some kind of, I don't want to say lower class, but middle class or kind of good boxers to go inside. But again, I don't think all them lads get those big numbers. It's just Artem's getting that money because he's a UFC star. He's huge in combat sports. Paulie Malignaggi, 2-time world champion. So those lads will get that money. But if you were to kind of bring out a lad kind of that hasn't won anything, well, good records, 22 losses, 3 losses, whatever. If you brought them in, I don't think they'll get anywhere near the money that those lads are getting, if you get me. So they're bringing Paulie Malignaggi in, they're bringing Artem in just to kind of open up the sport and kind of get people to tune in and kind of, if it wasn't like bare knuckle FC, I didn't know anything about it until Artem stepped in. Do you know? So then that kind of was like, oh, and then you look at it and you're just like, holy shit. It's like, it's entertaining, but it's mad. It's mad. As in, I saw a thing on Instagram where one of the guys, I don't know if he was the owner of bare knuckle FC or some.
Oh, I know what you're gonna say. Yeah.
The video where 2 lads fought, and then one of them was kind of boxing, so he's kind of more on the back foot, and he wasn't throwing as much. And I think he won. I'm not sure if he won or not. But then his purse he was just basically like, oh, because he didn't fight.
Ridiculous.
We're cut.
I don't even know that's legal. Like that.
It's half of his purse just was given to his opponent, and you're just like, what the fuck, man? It's like you get in the ring and fight. Different. And that's where boxing. A lot of boxers.
That's where the line's kind of pushed over.
Like. Professional boxing isn't just you fucking gloves on, go in the ring, boom, 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 12 rounds and then you're out. There's a lot of, like, if you speak to world champions and lads at that level, they're very kind of smart. They're smart lads. It's a game of chess. At the same time, you have to obviously put your body through hell for 10, 12 weeks, but they're very smart and intelligent guys. It's you have to think. It's never kind of you go in, boom, 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 boom. Obviously that happens, but it's not all the time. It's and if you bring that to bare knuckle, you get half of your fucking wages deducted. So I don't know, but yeah, mad.
Right, well, it's been an absolute pleasure. I've really enjoyed this interview, and I'm sure Jake will see you very soon. And
sooner rather than later.
Thanks very much for the interview, Jake. All right,
I appreciate it, boss. Thank you. Thanks.